So you have this cryptic statement that says state the parent function. And if you've been in class, you know what that is. Some things we talk about in math class are kind of specific to this author, and some things are not specific to this author. I would say this one is more this author's style. There's many things in mathematics that mathematicians do naturally, and so they may not have a word for it. So you may or may not be able to go on Google and just type in parent function. It might not help you at all. Whereas domain, range, function, intercept, graph, all that other stuff is easily searchable and is general notation, general language. Okay, so what we said in class was what we call a parent function is we have an original function and then we translate that function to get a new function. And the original function is the one we're calling the parent function. So we're saying if this function here is some kind of a new function, what was the original function? Okay, so the square root of x could be the original function. That's the most logical original function. All right, next question, what is the domain of this function? Well, for square root functions, the inside has to be greater than or equal to 0. So we can subtract 4 from each side. X has to be greater than or equal to -4. Okay? You can leave your work on the page. I'm just trying to make space because I only have half a page to write on. What is the range? Okay, for all square root functions, I mean, we haven't added anything to the outside here, so we don't have to worry about shifting our range. The only change happened to the input. So the range is the y, or the f, has to be greater than or equal to 0. So that's the same as the parent function. Okay, graph the function and do our labels. So if we had a square root of x, it would be right here. But because I'm shifting it to the left. And you may say, wait, it's a plus. Yes. When you shift an input, it does the opposite of what you would expect. So you have to think of it this way. You have to think of it more like square root of x plus 4, first of all. It looks better that way. And then what you're saying is, take the x you have and look forward. So you see the plus 4, I want you to look forward. I want you to say, when I'm sitting here, I'm going to look forward to where the other graph used to be in the forward direction. That's how we end up shifting it backwards. Okay? And likewise, the -4 would be look backwards. And so that would shift it to the right. So it actually shifts left. I'm going to also stress this in class, but I'm just, no matter how many times I say it, people will do it the reverse way. Okay, we only have one more thing. Label your graph y or f square root of 4 plus x. Okay, and there's going to be one more intercept. What is it? Well, that one's easy. You just say f of 0 is square root of 4, which is just 2. So this is 2. All right, so we've got all our information. We've labeled our graph. We have x and y intercepts. We're good to go.